Want to speak real Dutch from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at DutchPod101.com.
Hello and welcome to this next Dutch lesson where we will talk about the must-know phrases in Dutch. My name is Stella and I will be teaching you some very useful basic phrases in Dutch today. So let's get started. The first word of the day is hallo. Hello. Hallo. Hello. So as you can see, the standard Dutch greeting is very similar to the English one. Now, if you feel like mixing it up a little bit, you can also say hoi, which is our version of hey, and it's slightly more informal. Now, if you want to be a little less casual, for example, if you arrive at work in the morning, you could say this. Goedemorgen. Good morning. Goedemorgen. Goedemorgen. Now, if you want to be a little less casual, for example, if you arrive at work in the morning, you could say this. Goedemorgen. Goedemorgen. Good morning. You can also say this to anyone else you meet in the morning, for example, in a shop or the person you wake up next to. If it's in the afternoon, you could say this. Goedemiddag. Good afternoon. Goedemiddag. Goedemiddag. This one is much more formal than goedemorgen. In the Netherlands, you can say goedemorgen to anyone, but goedemiddag is really only used when starting a conversation with someone you don't know. For example, at the supermarket or at the beginning of a phone call. Goedenavond. Good evening. Goedenavond. Goedenavond. Good evening. This one is pretty formal. You do best to only use it, for example, when entering a restaurant or something like that. Hoe heet u? What's your name? Hoe heet u? Hoe heet u? What's your name? Bear in mind that the Dutch have a formal you, which is u, and an informal you, which is je. So if you're asking a child or a classmate what his or her name is, you should probably go with hoe heet je? Now, after learning someone's name, you will likely be asked to say yours, to which you could say, ik ben, I'm, ik ben, enter your name here. So in my case, it would be, ik ben Stella. Ik ben Stella. I'm Stella. It's just your basic introduction. After you've both stated your names, you'll likely shake hands and say something like this. Leuk je te ontmoeten. Nice to meet you. Leuk je te ontmoeten. Leuk je te ontmoeten. Nice to meet you. Now remember the difference between je and u. If you're meeting a new client at work, you may want to say leuk u te ontmoeten, just to class it up a bit. Another useful sentence right after introductions is hoe gaat het? How are you? Hoe gaat het? Hoe gaat het? How are you? It's a nice way to get to know a little bit about the other person, if they feel like sharing. Most of the time, though, they will probably just say that they're fine and leave it at that. And that would sound like this. Het gaat prima, dank je. En met jou? I'm fine, thanks. And you? Het gaat prima, dank je. En met jou? Het gaat prima, dank je. En met jou? I'm fine, thanks. And you? So when people ask you this, it's probably better not to launch into a 15-minute speech about how you are really doing. Keep it short and to the point. Now, here comes one that's rather ambiguous. Alsjeblieft. Please. Alsjeblieft. Alsjeblieft. Please. First of all, when saying this to someone you know well, say alsjeblieft. Je, u, remember? But whichever one you use, it can also mean here you go. So you say it when you're asking someone for something, but also when handing it over. It's pretty confusing, right? Crazy Dutchies. When someone hands you something, or someone has done something nice for you, the polite thing to do is say this. Dank je. Thank you. Dank je. Dank je. Thank you. And again, if you're in a formal situation, say dank u. Next one is what you say after that. Graag gedaan. You're welcome. Graag gedaan. Graag gedaan. Now this is probably a hard one because of the notorious Dutch sound. Just remember, if you pull this off, you'll sound very Dutch indeed. The next two are really short and to the point. Ja. Yes. Ja. Ja. Yes. Nee. No. Nee. Nee. No. Just your basic yes and no. Use them wisely. The next one is easy. You'll all recognize it immediately. Okay. 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 And of course it means okay. It's the same word and you can basically spell it any way you like, so go to town. Excuseer. Excuse me. Excuseer. Excuseer. Excuse me. You can say this if you want to pass by someone and you need them to move, for example. The second way to apologize in Dutch is het spijt me. I'm sorry. Het spijt me. Het spijt me. I'm sorry. You can also say sorry if you've done a small thing wrong, but if you've really made a mess of things, you may want to go all the way and just go with het spijt me. So let's move on to a few short questions. First one is, hoe laat is het? What time is it? Hoe laat is het? Hoe laat is het? What time is it? A literal translation would be how late is it? But we use this whenever we just want to ask for the time. Waar is het toilet? Where is the restroom? Waar is het toilet? Waar is het toilet? Where is the restroom? So I'm sure you recognize the word toilet in there, but if you want to sound very Dutch, use wc for water closet. So then you would say, waar is de wc? The next one isn't a question, but a request. Wacht even. Wait a moment. Wacht even. Wacht even. Wait a moment. You can use this if someone is talking to you while you're busy, or if you need someone to not move while you grab something from a different aisle, etc. It's a very useful sentence. So if you're in a shop and you want to ask how much something is, you can ask, hoeveel kost dit? How much is this? Hoeveel kost dit? How much is this? Though usually when you're in the Netherlands, there will be clear price tags on everything. The Dutch don't haggle. If you've eaten at a restaurant and you want the check, say, mag ik de rekening alstublieft? Could I get the check, please? Mag ik de rekening alstublieft? Mag ik de rekening alstublieft? Could I get the check, please? Now remember, Dutch people will often split the bill. So if you want to ask for the check, but you don't want to necessarily imply that you'll be the one paying for it, you could say, mogen wij de rekening alstublieft? Which means, could we get the check, please? Here's a word you really need to know, but you probably already do. Help. 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 It just means help. Sometimes life will throw you a bone. Tot later. See you later. If you're taking leave of someone, you can say tot later. Tot later. See you later. You can also just say later. That's been catching on quickly lately. Here's a slightly more formal version of saying goodbye. Tot ziens. Goodbye. Tot ziens. Tot ziens. Goodbye. You're technically saying the same thing you were earlier. It just means that you'll see each other again. But this is the one you would use in a grocery store, whereas you would say tot later or later to a friend. So that's all for today. These were the must-know phrases in Dutch. If there's anything missing from this list, make sure to tell me in the comments. Like and subscribe to this channel. And if you'd like to learn more Dutch, visit dutchpod101.com. Thanks and goodbye.
You are aboard an express train where you're about to arrive at your next destination. Suddenly, the train slows and comes to an unexpected stop clearly short of the station. There are no instructions from the conductor. Concerned, you pick up and read the emergency instructions pamphlet aboard the train. According to the pamphlet, what should you do in this situation? According to the pamphlet, what should you do in this situation? The pamphlet says that you should not attempt to exit the train because the train tracks are electrified. Instead, you should stay seated and wait for help to arrive.
Blijf zitten en wacht op hulp.
You've decided to study a new language, so now what? Well, you want to become fluent fast, right? Here are the top 5 shortcuts to learning a language. Number 1, create a study schedule and set some goals. Many language learners are unorganized. Creating a schedule allows you to free up time to study consistently. Goals give you motivation and something to strive for. Number 2, make it fun. If you learn how to make your study time enjoyable, chances are you'll be more inclined to study. Watch a TV show with subtitles or listen to some music. Number 3, find a language partner. This is the best way to improve your conversation skills. It will help you gain fluency even faster and increase confidence when speaking. Number 4, use word lists to build up a solid vocabulary. This is a great way to build up your fluency, one word at a time. Luckily, we have all the word lists you need, with a range of topics, from food to love. Choose whichever language you want to study and go. Number 5, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Nothing helps you improve more than correcting your own errors. You're more likely to remember it correctly the next time around. Everyone makes mistakes. Don't be afraid to learn from them. There's no magical way to learn a new language overnight, but doing all of these can really help your learning process. And remember, if you're interested in getting on the fast track to fluency, sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. Start learning now.
Hello and welcome to the Best Words in Dutch. My name is Stella and together we're going to explore the 15 best Dutch words. So let's get started with the first word. Dag. Bye. Dag. Bye. Tot morgen. Dag. Tot morgen. Dag. Till tomorrow. Bye. You can also say doei, which is more common and informal. Dag as a greeting is spelled the same as dag, which is the word for day. So to make it sound like a greeting, you usually say it a little sing-songy. So you say dag instead of just dag. Let's move on to the next one. Dankjewel. Thank you. Dankjewel. Thank you. Wat een leuk cadeau, dankjewel. Wat een leuk cadeau, dankjewel. What a nice present, thank you. You can also leave wel out and just say dankje. That's fine too. There's not a big difference in meaning, it's just fewer words. Yay. Gezellig. Cozy. Gezellig. Cozy. Dat is een gezellig restaurant. Dat is een gezellig restaurant. That is a cozy restaurant. Now this word is a big deal for Dutch people, but maybe even more so for foreigners because it's such a multi-purpose word. You can say that a restaurant is gezellig, but an evening can also be gezellig, and even a person can be gezellig. Graag gedaan. It's my pleasure. Alright, so if someone just has said dankjewel, thank you, you could say graag gedaan. My pleasure. Geen probleem en graag gedaan. Geen probleem en graag gedaan. No problem. It's my pleasure. It means you enjoyed doing it, but you also say it when you didn't necessarily enjoy doing it. It's like saying you're welcome. It's just polite. Hello. Hello. Oh, now this is an important one. Hello. Hello. Hello, hoe gaat het? Hello. Hoe gaat het? Hello, how are you? So as you can see, the English and the Dutch word for hello are very much alike. So if you want to say hello in a slightly more informal way, you can also say hoi, which is spelled H-O-I. Hoi. Helaas. Unfortunately. Now if you want to say that you regret something, you can say helaas. Unfortunately. Helaas kan ik niet. Helaas kan ik niet. Unfortunately, I can't. If someone is whining about something and you want to make a little fun out of that person, you can also say helaas pindakaas, which literally means unfortunately peanut butter. I don't think anyone knows why we say this. It's a typical Dutch thing, I guess. Leven. Life. Leven. Life. Het leven is mooi. Het leven is mooi. Life is beautiful. This is both a noun and a verb. So you can also say de planten leven nog, which means the plants are still alive. So don't get confused, you can use this word in both ways. Liefde. Love. Another very important one. Liefde. Love. Waar komt de liefde vandaan? Waar komt de liefde vandaan? Where does love come from? Now, please don't ever use this sentence ever. It's very cheesy. But you might use the word liefde in another context. For example, there's a Dutch saying that goes, de liefde van de man gaat door de maag, which means the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. It's not very inspiring, but hey. Oma. Grandmother. Oma. Grandmother. Morgen is mijn oma jarig. Tomorrow is my grandmother's birthday. Now, if you want a challenge, you can also say the word grootmoeder, which means the same, but it's much more formal. And it's a little less simple than the easy word oma. Respect. Respect. Here's an easy one. Respect. Respect. Heb respect voor elkaar. Heb respect voor elkaar. Respect each other. As you can see, these words are pretty much identical. So if you're ever in a situation where you need to remind people to be respectful of one another, you now know what to do. Schatje. Sweetheart. Here comes a cute one. Schatje. Sweetheart. Je bent een schatje. Je bent een schatje. You're a sweetheart. Now, schatje is the diminutive form. You can also say schat, which is more like darling. That's what you would say to your lover, for instance. Tussen. Among. Here comes an adverb. Tussen. Among. De auto staat tussen de andere auto's. De auto staat tussen de andere auto's. The car is among the other cars. Tussen also means between. For example, if you got your finger stuck in the door, you can say, mijn vinger zat tussen de deur. That means that it was stuck between the door and the post, and it really hurt. Vaak. Often. If you want to say that something happens a lot, use this word. Vaak. Often. Hij gaat vaak naar de film. Hij gaat vaak naar de film. He often goes to the movies. Vliegtuig. Plane. Here's a fun one. Vliegtuig. Airplane. Boeing maakt vliegtuigen. Boeing maakt vliegtuigen. Boeing makes airplanes. If you were to translate vliegtuig literally, I guess it would mean something like fly tool, so it's pretty accurate. Familie. Family. And then there's familie. Family. Ik heb een grote familie. Ik heb een grote familie. I have a large family. Now, you should be careful with this word because the Dutch word familie includes much more than just the English word family. So if you want to talk about the family that lives in your house with you, for example, your sister and your parents, you could use the word gezin. If you say familie, you also mean uncles and aunts and cousins as well. Congratulations, you've reached the end of this class, and now you have 15 of the best Dutch words in your vocabulary. If you have any questions or if you have something you want to learn next, please let me know in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to learn more Dutch, go to dutchpod101.com and I'll see you next time.
Want to speak real Dutch from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at dutchpod101.com. You are at a train station platform where you are waiting for your train. There's a small pamphlet sitting on a display case about a new train that will be introduced next year. You decide to pick up and read the pamphlet. What is the main feature and the biggest advantage of the new train? What is the main feature and the biggest advantage of the new train? The main feature of the train is that it is propelled by magnetism. The biggest advantage is that it can reach twice the speeds of any train that runs on tracks.
De trein die wordt aangedreven door magnetisme. Het kan 2 keer de snelheid bereiken van elke andere trein dat op het spoor rijdt.
Hello everyone and welcome to today's lesson. I'm Stella and today we're going to learn how to pronounce the 10 hardest words to pronounce in Dutch. Let's start with one of the hardest numbers to pronounce. 88. 88. 88. Mijn opa is 88 jaar oud. My grandfather is 88 years old. It's usually that weird raspy that trips foreigners up. I was in France one day talking to my sister in Dutch and a shop clerk literally burst out laughing and started mocking our G's. Lovely. Afstandsbediening. Afstandsbediening. Remote control. Heb je de afstandsbediening gezien? Have you seen the remote control? This word can be easily split up into 2 parts. Afstand, which means distance, and bediening, which means controller. So literally it's distance controller, like remote control. Angstschreeuw. Angstschreeuw. A cry of distress. Ik hoorde een angstschreeuw. I heard a cry of fear. So this is a really great one for playing hangman because it has 8 consonants in a row. Don't worry if you don't get this right. It's not a common word and as you probably could hear, it's not my favorite word to pronounce either. Duivenvoer. Duivenvoer. Pigeon food. Daar kun je duivenvoer kopen. You can buy food for pigeons there. Now, I'm not really sure why this is such a hard word for foreigners. I think it probably has something to do with the ui sound. So let me know in the comments where you're having trouble. Gevarendriehoek. Gevarendriehoek. Warning triangle. Een gevarendriehoek hoort in een auto. A warning triangle belongs in a car. So apart from that first sound, it's not such a difficult word. Just get over that first bit and then it's smooth sailing. Goochelaar. Goochelaar. Magician. De goochelaar en een konijn. The magician and a rabbit. So this one has that nasty sound at the beginning and at the end of the first syllable. So just keep practicing, I suppose. Grafiek. Grafiek. Graph. Dat is een moeilijke grafiek. That is a difficult chart. So keep in mind that the Dutch say their A's differently from the English A. It's much more A. So it's grafiek. Reunie. Reunie. Reunion. Morgen hebben we een reunie van school. We have a reunion at school tomorrow. Now, don't confuse this with ruïne, which looks similar, but it means a ruin. So you have reunie and ruïne. Schatje. Schatje. Cutie. Wat een schatje. What a cutie. So you can also say schatje to your boyfriend or girlfriend. It's not just for small things like pets or babies. Schoenpoetsborsteltje. Schoenpoetsborsteltje. Shoe polishing brush. A great example sentence. Schoenpoetsborsteltje is een lang woord. Shoe polishing brush is a long word. Endlessly imaginative, this. So well done, guys. You've reached the end of this lesson in how to pronounce the hardest words in Dutch. Let me know if there's any other words you find especially difficult. Tell me in the comments. And remember to like and subscribe. And if you want to learn more Dutch, visit dutchpod101.com. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Hi guys, welcome to this next class. I'm Stella, I'm a native speaker of the Dutch language, and today we're going to focus on 10 questions you should be able to ask and answer in Dutch. We have a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. The first one. Hoe heet u? Hoe heet u? What's your name? An answer to this could be Ik heet Jacob. Ik heet Jacob. My name is Jacob. So this is just your basic introduction, but an important thing to remember is that the Dutch word u is very formal. So if you want to ask a coworker or a classmate or someone who is the same age as you what their name is, you should probably say je instead of u. So it would be, hoe heet je? Next question. Hoe gaat het? Hoe gaat het? How are you? And an answer might be, met mij gaat het goed. Met mij gaat het goed. I am doing well. Now this is a pretty long sentence that you don't necessarily need to, say in full. If someone asks, hoe gaat het? You can just shorten it and say, goed. Waar kom je vandaan? Waar kom je vandaan? Where are you from? Sample answer, ik kom uit Amsterdam. Ik kom uit Amsterdam. I am from Amsterdam. Now, if you're just asking this question flat out, then people might consider that to be a little direct. So a more gentle way of asking this is just assuming that someone is from somewhere and then letting them correct you. So you could ask, kom je uit Amsterdam? Which means, are you from Amsterdam? And then someone else could say, no, actually, I'm from Haarlem. Hoe oud ben je? Hoe oud ben je? How old are you? Possible answer, ik ben 20 jaar. Ik ben 20 jaar. I am 20 years old. So if you're answering this question, you may actually leave out jaar. You can just say, ik ben 20, and leave it at that. That's more common. Waar werk je? Waar werk je? Where do you work? Ik werk in Rotterdam. Ik werk in Rotterdam. I work in Rotterdam. Though this sample answer is a city, you're more likely to get an answer with something like, I work in marketing, or I work at Coolblue, or whatever. So when you're asking someone where they work, it's assumed that you're talking about the job, not the actual location. Here's an opportunity to learn some numbers. Wat is je telefoonnummer? Wat is je telefoonnummer? What is your phone number? Answer. Mijn telefoonnummer is 012 345 6678. Mijn telefoonnummer is 012 345 6678. My phone number is 012 345 6678. So now you also have an idea of all the numbers from 0 to 8. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hou je van Nederlands eten? Hou je van Nederlands eten? Do you like Dutch food? A likely answer to this is nee, ik hou niet van Nederlands eten. Nee, ik hou niet van Nederlands eten. No, I don't like Dutch food. So some typical Dutch dishes are hutspot, which is mashed potatoes with mashed carrots, and beschuit met muisjes, which is like a crispy biscuit with small pink or blue and white little balls on it, and they're made of sugar and aniseed. And that's traditionally eaten at the birth of a child. Well, to celebrate the birth of a child. Heb je broers of zussen? Heb je broers of zussen? Do you have any brothers or sisters? And an answer to this may be, ja, ik heb een broer. Ja, ik heb een broer. Yes, I have one brother. So there's no real Dutch equivalent to the word siblings, so you'll always have to ask if they have brothers or sisters. It can be a little bit of a pain, but there's just no alternative, so sorry. Ben je wel eens in Nederland geweest? Ben je wel eens in Nederland geweest? Have you ever been to the Netherlands? A likely answer, nee, ik ben er nog niet geweest. Nee, ik ben er nog niet geweest. No, I haven't been there yet. Waar heb je Nederlands geleerd? Waar heb je Nederlands geleerd? Where did you learn Dutch? It's so incredible. Sample answer would be, ik heb het op school geleerd. Ik heb het op school geleerd. I have learned it at school. I don't actually know if there is any country except for the Netherlands where they teach Dutch. We're not very popular in that sense. Okay guys, that's all for today. Thanks for watching and great job. You now know how to ask and answer 10 important questions in Dutch. So remember to like and subscribe, and if you want to learn more Dutch, visit dutchpod101.com. See you later. Goodbye.
Learning a language requires a huge investment of time and often money as well. Many people are hesitant to put in the amount of effort required to become fluent. But learning a new language can be one of life's most rewarding experiences. Here are 5 reasons to learn a language. Number 1, more opportunities. A new language can open up many new doors. You're able to work in countries other than your own. Tons of employers look to hire multilingual professionals every year. Number 2, meeting new people. Get to know speakers of other languages on a more personal level. Meeting new people is one of the main reasons people begin to study a language. Making new friends is a good enough reason to start studying. Number 3, exploring a different culture. Whether you decide to live abroad or you're just taking a vacation, knowing the local language will allow you to better understand the people. This can open your eyes to not only their country, but your country as well. Learn how people view your home from their perspective. Number 4, health benefits. Studying a new language actually comes with health benefits. Keep your brain sharp by studying every day. You'll be helping your mind fight off old age and stay fresh. Number 5, discover you can do it. We've heard every excuse that people give for failing to learn a new language. Too old, not enough time, wrong genes. But you shouldn't let your excuses hold you back. You really can learn another language. You could even hold your first conversation just a few days from now. Don't make any more excuses. Just click to start speaking the language you've always wanted to learn. Sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. Stop hesitating and start learning a new language now.
Hi there, and welcome to this Dutch lesson. My name is Stella, and the weather has been so lovely lately that we're going to talk about some things that you can do in the summer. Op reis gaan naar het buitenland. Op reis gaan naar het buitenland. To travel abroad. Now this first one, I must admit, is pretty ironic, because a lovely thing to do in the summer in the Netherlands is op reis gaan naar het buitenland. Op reis gaan naar het buitenland. To travel abroad. Het is leuk om op reis te gaan naar het buitenland. Het is leuk om op reis te gaan naar het buitenland. It's fun to travel abroad. It's very realistic though. The number 1 activity in the Netherlands in summer is leave the Netherlands. It's always raining here. But if the weather is nice, you could do this. Relaxen op het strand. Relaxen op het strand. To relax at the beach. Relaxen op het strand. Relaxen op het strand. Relax at the beach. Ga je morgen mee relaxen op het strand? Ga je morgen mee relaxen op het strand? Are you coming with us tomorrow to relax on the beach? Now be warned, the Dutch beaches aren't exceptionally beautiful and the water is cold as hell. But it's a lovely day out and other than that it's great. So here comes another very useful thing to do in summer. Nederlands leren met dutchpod101.com. Nederlands leren met dutchpod101.com. To learn Dutch with dutchpod101.com. Nederlands leren met dutchpod101.com. Nederlands leren met dutchpod101.com. To learn Dutch with dutchpod101.com. Nederlands leren met dutchpod101.com is een leuke hobby. Nederlands leren met dutchpod101.com is een leuke hobby. Learning Dutch with dutchpod101.com is a fun hobby. See how we snuck a little self-promotion in there? I bet you didn't even notice it, did you? Leren om Nederlands eten te koken. Leren om Nederlands eten te koken. To learn to cook Dutch food. Leren om Nederlands eten te koken. Leren om Nederlands eten te koken. To learn to cook Dutch food. Zullen we leren om Nederlands eten te koken? Zullen we leren om Nederlands eten te koken? Shall we learn how to cook Dutch food? Small tip, don't pick hutspot or andijvie. Those things are really gross. Pick a breakfast dish. The Dutch breakfast dishes are usually fine. You'll recognize this next one. Barbecuen. Barbecuen. To have a barbecue. Barbecuen. Barbecuen. To have a barbecue. Zaterdag gaan we barbecuen. Zaterdag gaan we barbecuen. We will have a barbecue on Saturday. So the Dutch word barbecue is just like the English word, it's just pronounced in the Dutch fashion. De hele nacht feesten. De hele nacht feesten. To party all night. De hele nacht feesten. De hele nacht feesten. To party all night. Gisteren heb ik de hele nacht gefeest. Gisteren heb ik de hele nacht gefeest. I partied all night yesterday. Now, to be honest, I don't really know what that's like because I'm not much of a party animal myself. So I can't give you any insights on what great party places are in the Netherlands, but probably Amsterdam. Zonnen. Zonnen. To get a tan. Zonnen. To get a tan. Ik moet echt eens gaan zonnen. Ik moet echt eens gaan zonnen. I really have to get a tan. Actually, most Dutch people are quite pale, so we don't really get a tan, we just get a sunburn. So make sure you always use sunscreen when you're in the sun for a longer period of time. If you want to do something more active, this may be right for you. Wandelen. Wandelen. To go hiking. Wandelen. Wandelen. To go hiking. Mijn zus houdt van wandelen. Mijn zus houdt van wandelen. My sister likes to go hiking. Be advised though, the Dutch word wandelen sort of actually means more like to go for a walk. It could also take like 15 minutes. So there isn't really a Dutch equivalent to hiking because honestly there are not a lot of places where you can do that over here. So you may, if you're going to use the word wandelen, make sure you use it in like a casual go for a walk context. Een bijbaantje nemen. Een bijbaantje nemen. To work a part-time job. Een bijbaantje nemen. Een bijbaantje nemen. To work a part-time job. Deze zomer neem ik een bijbaantje. Deze zomer neem ik een bijbaantje. This summer I will work a part-time job. It's a great way to earn some extra cash and to get some working experience. And because the Netherlands has a lot of beaches, there are usually many like beach restaurants that need people over the summer. So you can try that. Plezier hebben met vrienden. Plezier hebben met vrienden. To have fun with friends. Plezier hebben met vrienden. Plezier hebben met vrienden. To have fun with friends. Ik mis het plezier hebben met vrienden. Ik mis het plezier hebben met vrienden. I miss having fun with friends. That's kind of sad. I mean, for your sake, I hope that you have fun with friends even when it's winter or fall or spring or whatever. But maybe in summer you may find some extra time to spend with your friends. Well, those are some suggestions for stuff you can do in the summer. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something. If you did or if you didn't, let me know in the comments. And please like and subscribe. And if you want to learn more Dutch, you can visit dutchpod101.com. Thank you for watching and have a great day.
You are at a train station where you're heading to the Lost and Found office to retrieve a lost passport. According to an email you received from the train company, what things do you need to provide to the staff? What things do you need to provide to the staff? The email says that you need to present proof of identification and to pay a small fee.
Een geldig legitimatiebewijs. Een kleine vergoeding.
Want to speak real Dutch from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at DutchPod101.com.
Hi guys, welcome to this Dutch lesson where I, Stella, will be teaching you 20 very important things you need to know when you're going to the beach. So let's get started. Zonnebril, zonnebril, sunglasses. Vergeet je zonnebril niet. Vergeet je zonnebril niet. Don't forget your sunglasses. So if you're anything like me, you probably forget your sunglasses half the time and spend all day squinting against the sun. So this is a really great first word. It's before you even get to the beach that this is important. Strand, strand, beach. Het is druk op het strand. Het is druk op het strand. The beach is crowded. So Dutch beaches are often crowded because if it is warm, then everyone within a 2-hour drive wants to go to the beach. So traffic is insane and the beaches are, crowded. Zwemmen, zwemmen, swimming. Laten we gaan zwemmen. Laten we gaan zwemmen. Let's go swimming. Swimming is one of my favorite things to do in the summer. In winter as well, but then you would really need to go to a pool because the Dutch Sea is really only doable between, say, June and September or something. Zon, zon, sun. De zon is een ster. De zon is een ster. The sun is a star. So the Dutch word zon is quite close to the English word sun, so it should be easy enough to remember. And now you've also learned the word for star, which is ster. Palmboom, palmboom, palm tree. Ik zie 2 palmbomen. Ik zie 2 palmbomen. I see 2 palm trees. Now actually a palm tree is not really typical for Dutch beaches because they don't grow here. But you'll see them in pots from time to time at beach restaurants or whatever. Schelp, schelp, seashell. Heb je wel eens een schelp gegeten? Heb je wel eens een schelp gegeten? Have you ever eaten a seashell? That just seems like the most random question ever. Like, have you ever inhaled a tree or something? Don't eat seashells, guys. It's not what they're for. It would be a mistake. However, the word schelp is a good one to practice because it has that tricky Dutch sch sound at the beginning. Charming, isn't it? Badpak, badpak, swimsuit. Mijn zus heeft een blauw badpak. Mijn zus heeft een blauw badpak. My sister has a blue swimsuit. It's probably important to tell you that the word badpak only means like a one-piece swimsuit. So it's not a bikini. A bikini is not a badpak, where I guess it would be a swimsuit. So there's a distinction there. Oceaan, oceaan, ocean. De walvis zwemt in de oceaan. De walvis zwemt in de oceaan. The whale is swimming in the ocean. It's an easy one, right? I mean, it's just the same as the English word ocean, except there's an extra A in there and you move the stress to that A. So, oceaan. Kustwacht. Kustwacht. Lifeguard. Er is een kustwacht op het strand. Er is een kustwacht op het strand. There's a lifeguard at the beach. Now this one is a little tricky because kustwacht is also like the beach police. So it's not just, I think they also come out to rescue you if you're in trouble, but they also, I mean, if you do something illegal or whatever, they also get in their boat and go out there. Jet ski, jet ski, jet ski. Who would have thought? Mijn oom heeft een jetski gekocht. Mijn oom heeft een jetski gekocht. My uncle has bought a jet ski. So, you don't really see jet skis a lot at Dutch beaches, but it happens, I suppose. At least you won't have trouble remembering this one. Strandlaken. Strandlaken. Beach towel. Ik kan mijn strandlaken niet vinden. Ik kan mijn strandlaken niet vinden. I can't find my beach towel. Another word we use a lot is just handdoek, which just means towel. And laken actually means sheet. So strandlaken put together means beach sheet. And that's because they're usually larger than our regular towels. Strandstoel. Strandstoel. Beach chair. Reserveer alsjeblieft een strandstoel. Reserveer alsjeblieft een strandstoel. Please reserve a beach chair. Or if you want the full experience, you can just drop your strandlaken in the sand and sit on that. Zandkasteel. Zandkasteel. Sandcastle. We bouwen een zandkasteel. We bouwen een zandkasteel. We are building a sandcastle. So this word can be easily split up into two parts, which is zand, sand, and kasteel, castle. I bet you didn't see that one coming, did you? Coolbox. Coolbox. Cooler. Kun je de coolbox meenemen? Kun je de coolbox meenemen? Can you take the cooler? Again, here's a word that's easy to recognize because you're saying cool box, but with a Dutch accent. Coolbox. Vloed. Vloed. High tide. Het is vloed. Het is vloed. It's high tide. So, vloed means high tide, and the word for low tide is ebb, with EB. So it's ebb and vloed. And if you're listening carefully, you can hear the similarity with ebb and flow. Zonnen. Zonnen. To tan. Ik hou van zonnen. Ik hou van zonnen. I love to tan. Now, zonnen also means just sunbathing, because Dutch people, we don't really tan easily, mostly. So make sure you always use plenty of sunscreen to protect yourself from the harmful sun rays. Snorkelen. Snorkelen. Snorkeling. In Egypte kun je goed snorkelen. In Egypte kun je goed snorkelen. Egypt is great for snorkeling. So here again we have a word that is very much the same in both English and Dutch. I've always wondered whether it's supposed to sound like bubbles. Snorkeling. Is that just me? Slipper. Slipper. Flip-flop. Ik heb 3 slippers. Ik heb 3 slippers. I have 3 flip-flops. This phrase really made me laugh because why would you have 3 flip-flops? Anyway, this is easy to mix up because we do have the word slippers like in English. It just doesn't mean exactly the same thing. So if you're trying to say slippers, then use flip-flops. Zonnebrand. Zonnebrand. Sunscreen. Dat is een grote fles zonnebrand. Dat is een grote fles zonnebrand. That's a big bottle of sunscreen. Now, an interesting thing about this word is that zonnebrand literally means sun and burn. So the full term is zonnebrandcrème, so sunburn cream to protect against sunburn. But people just leave out the last bit. That's because unlike in English, you can't have sunburn in Dutch. You can't say ik heb zonnebrand unless you mean the product. So if you want to say you have a sunburn, you would say ik ben verbrand, which would literally translate to I am burned. So keep in mind, zonnebrand means sunscreen, even though you're only literally saying sunburn. Bikini. 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 Oh nee, ik ben mijn bikini vergeten. Oh nee, ik ben mijn bikini vergeten. Oh no, I forgot my bikini. This one's not very difficult to wrap your head around, is it? I don't think this needs any further explanation. Right, you've reached the end of this lesson. Thank you for sticking with it. It was a long one. You now know many words you can use when going to the beach, so make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to learn more Dutch, go to dutchpod101.com. That's all for now. Goodbye and have fun at the beach. Hello and welcome to this next Dutch lesson. My name is Stella and today we're going to talk about 10 words and phrases you'll need when you're going back to school at the beginning of the school year. It's never easy, but at least now you will know what to say. Heb je je huiswerk af? Heb je je huiswerk af? Did you finish your homework? So the Dutch word for finishing something is afmaken, and the word for having finished it is af hebben. So that's why it's heb je je huiswerk af. We don't have a separate word for to finish something. Klasgenoot. Klasgenoot. Classmate. John is mijn klasgenoot. John is mijn klasgenoot. John is my classmate. Now this word is really only used in the diminutive form, klasgenootje. If you're adults and that feels too weird, then you can also say iemand uit mijn klas, which means someone from my class. And it's much more neutral. Klasgenootje implies that you're great friends. Huiswerk. Huiswerk. Homework. Elke dag maak ik mijn huiswerk. Elke dag maak ik mijn huiswerk. Every day I do my homework. Everyone's favorite word, isn't it? Again, this one is difficult because many people find that au klank difficult to pronounce. You could compare it to like a really posh pronunciation of over. So like over, o, au, huiswerk. That makes any sense. Examen, examen, exam. Er is een belangrijk examen in mei. Er is een belangrijk examen in mei. There is an important exam in May. Now, to be honest, we only use the word examen when it's the final exam of something. So like at the end of high school is an exam. If not, we usually say tentamen. But let's not get too bogged down in the complications of the Dutch educational system. Zomervakantie. Zomervakantie. Summer break. In de zomervakantie ga ik op vakantie. In de zomervakantie ga ik op vakantie. I will go on holiday during the summer break. Should I repeat that word vakantie a couple more times? No? It's a lot like vacation, so it's an easy one to remember. School. 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 Ik vind school niet leuk. Ik vind school niet leuk. I don't like school. Or maybe you do like school, I don't know. Do you? It's another very tricky sound to get right, especially if you're just starting out with learning Dutch. And then O. It's a difficult combination. Don't feel bad if you're not getting it on the first try. Studeren. Studeren. To study. Mijn zus studeert biologie. Mijn zus studeert biologie. My sister studies biology. Now, studeren means two things. The first meaning is that you're attending a university, and the second meaning is that you're busy studying at the moment, so kind of like in English. Het is de eerste schooldag. Het is de eerste schooldag. It's the first day of class. I wish I could come up with some positive association for you guys, like making new friends or whatever, but to be honest, I'm just really glad I don't have to go through that anymore. Growing up is awesome, guys. We zitten in dezelfde klas. We zitten in dezelfde klas. We're in the same class. So it's a funny thing with Dutch. We will often use the verb zitten, so sitting, if what we mean is being. So this literally says we're sitting in the same class, but it just means that we are in the same class. Welke lessen volg je? Welke lessen volg je? What classes are you taking? As you can hear, the Dutch word les, which is the singular of lesson, is not like the English lesson, except that lesson is singular. Also, volgen means following. So it's like saying you're following a class. You finished this lesson going back to school, so congratulations, you're now completely prepared for your first day of class. If there are any other words or phrases you would like to hear, let me know in the comment section. Remember to like and subscribe, and if you want to learn more Dutch, go and visit dutchpod101.com. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
To master a new language and understand everything as soon as you hear it, to read with just a quick glance and speak smoothly without thinking, you need to review. Here are our top 5 review tactics. Number 1, listen to examples over and over again. By listening closely and often, you start to pick up the rhythm of a language, as well as correct pronunciation from a native speaker. Use our line-by-line feature that lets you both listen and read along. Use this tool to practice as much as possible. Number 2, use our voice recording tool to master perfect pronunciation. Record yourself and compare it against the native speaker. If you sound different, then repeat after the native speaker until you're able to match them. Use our voice recording feature, which makes recording super easy. Number 3, master your recorded conversations. Record conversations and go over them again and again. Master entire conversations and repeat them line by line. Use any of the dialogues available for download on our website. These come with transcripts of the entire conversation. Number 4, use mobile devices to reinforce previously learned conversations. Constant review is the best way to progress in your language studies. Download the recorded dialogue to your mobile device and incorporate it into your music playlist. Quick reviews throughout the day effectively reinforce what you've learned. Number 5, read with line-by-line notes. Read along with a native speaker to really master pronunciation and natural intonation. You should start slow at first, then slowly increase your speed. Your pronunciation will become more natural. You will also see that your ability to understand fluent speakers will greatly increase. You'll be able to improve your communication skills using these 5 simple review techniques. Increase your understanding of your target language. And remember, if you're interested in getting all these review tools, sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. And start reviewing more every day.
Want to speak real Dutch from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at dutchpod101.com.
Hello and welcome to 10 Dutch phrases you always want to hear. I am Stella and I will be giving you a lot of compliments today. Have fun. Je ziet er geweldig uit vandaag. You look great. Let's start with je ziet er geweldig uit vandaag. Je ziet er geweldig uit vandaag. You look great today. Always nice to hear, right? Don't use it too often, you don't want it to lose its meaning. Ik mis je. I miss you. This next one is rather sad. Ik mis je. Ik mis je. I miss you. As you can hear, the Dutch and English version of this are very similar, so it's easy to remember. You usually say this when you're on the phone with someone, in other words, when they're not actually there with you, or you say it about someone else. You could say, for example, ik mis mama. I miss mom. Dat heb je geweldig gedaan. You did a great job. This is a nice one if you want to tell someone they did well. Dat heb je geweldig gedaan. Dat heb je geweldig gedaan. You did a great job. You can also shorten it to goed gedaan or goed zo, meaning good job. It's a little more casual that way. Je krijgt aan het eind van de maand een bonus. There will be a bonus at the end of the month. Je krijgt aan het eind van de maand een bonus. Je krijgt aan het eind van de maand een bonus. There's a bonus at the end of the month. So nice to hear. Sadly, it doesn't happen as often as we'd like. Je kunt erg goed koken. You're an excellent cook. So imagine you've gone to dinner at a friend's place and the food was great. You could say, je kunt erg goed koken. Je kunt erg goed koken. You're an excellent cook. So if the food wasn't really good, but you still want to be polite, but you also don't really want that person to ever touch a pan or a stove again, you can say, dankjewel voor het koken. Thank you for cooking. This is still very nice, but you don't have to actually say that dinner was amazing. Neem even pauze. Ik ruim vandaag op. Take a break. I'll do the cleaning today. Neem even pauze. Ik ruim vandaag op. Neem even pauze. Ik ruim vandaag op. Take a break. I'll do the cleaning today. Isn't that nice? When someone tells you to just sit down and relax for a while. Maybe try using it today and say it to someone. You're sure to make some friends that way. En jij wint. And you win. So this is what you say at the end of a game. En jij wint. En jij wint. And you win. You can also say it to end an argument if you feel that maybe the other person was right after all. You can say, all right then, you win. Vooruit dan maar, jij wint. It will get you some points to admit you were wrong. Je had gelijk. You were right. This next one is also great to admit you were wrong. Je had gelijk. Je had gelijk. You were right. Feel free to say this to me anytime. I don't mind. I really don't. Ik heb iets speciaals voor je meegenomen. I've brought you something special. Now, imagine you've taken a long trip and you have brought a special gift home with you for your sister, who is Dutch. You can give it to her and you can say, ik heb iets speciaals voor je meegenomen. Ik heb iets speciaals voor je meegenomen. I've brought you something special. Now, please don't say this if it's just a t-shirt with the Eiffel Tower on it. Really save it for when you really picked out something special for your sister. Het budget is onbeperkt. The budget is unlimited. This one is really nice if you're planning a party and you want to hire a fire breather, but you're not sure if that's too expensive. And you ask that to someone, is that too expensive to hire a fire breather? And they say, het budget is onbeperkt. Het budget is onbeperkt. The budget is unlimited. This means go ahead with the fire breather and make sure everyone has their own personalized cocktail. This party is going to be great. Congratulations, you've reached the end of this class and you can now say 10 very nice things in Dutch. If you have any questions or suggestions on what you want to learn next, please let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to learn more, go to dutchpod101.com and I will see you next time.